What if you could deliver listing photos faster, spend less time editing, and still deliver amazing results? If you're a real estate photographer or just a media business, you know editing can be one of the biggest bottlenecks in this industry. So today I want to show you the AI photo editor that I've been using recently to really speed up my editing and start delivering photos same day. And I'm going to be doing a full live demo to see if it's worth it for you. I first tried all editing myself, and don't get me wrong, it worked, but everyone learns that it's just slow. Then I went to outsourcing with an editor, like most people do, but I found that turnaround times were a little longer than I wanted, and the consistency was just off sometimes. And then finally, I landed with Auto HDR. It's been one of the best options I've found because it solves just about every problem you find with editing in this industry. And it does just about everything. Obviously, the biggest one, like I mentioned, was that fast turnaround, but it also does just great edits, very clean, natural looking window pulls. It does TV replacements, even has tools to remove stuff, declutter, and so much more. And if you're really trying to scale and just stay super efficient, these are the kind of things that really matter. So in this video, I'll show you how I use it on an actual listing and how it's just meshed right into my workflow. A lot of people think real estate photography is just showing up and taking the photos. That's what I thought myself when I first started as well. But the real time drain really begins in the editing process and the delivery process. I mean, editing literally just consists of so much. You have to merge the brackets, you have to fix the windows, color correct, remove distractions, all of that on top of organizing, delivering in a quick manner. When I first started, I found myself staying up way too late trying to get these photos done just so I could deliver it the next day. Then when I outsourced, I'd find myself waiting till the next morning. I'd get my photos back, but then I had to fix them a little bit. I had to remove stuff, remove the distractions, and then of course deliver it. Or something I'm even still struggling with is, getting those small fixes done before delivering to the client. This is all why I started looking for just a quicker workflow. So instead of just talking about features, let's jump into a live demo where I go through just about everything in my workflow. I'm going to break down how I import the photos, editing, removal, and then finally delivery. All right, let's jump over to the computer. All right, so I'm at the computer setup. Here's a recent photo shoot I did for a pretty typical, suburban home, which I think is great because this is exactly what, most real estate photographers are doing. So here we go. This is going to be the full workflow from upload, which obviously I've already done, to getting the photos edited and delivered. We're first just going to take a look at some of the original photos. And I mean, overall, they're looking good. Normally, I don't do any culling, and I will explain why I do that in a little bit. But yeah, just going through, I mean, we could see clearly someone's still living in this house. We have this walk-in closet, and there's clearly quite a bit of stuff still there. Of course, I do 5 brackets, as you can tell. But otherwise, everything looks pretty good. I think these are all the photos that I want to shoot. And of course, I still have my exteriors here, but nothing out of, nothing out of the ordinary. We have obviously our high exposure photos and our, lower exposure ones. So we get those clean window pulls. I think that a photo like this, it might need some work here. We clearly see, phone on a stand, some glasses, remote, etc. So we will also be talking about that once we get into the editing phase. So this is the great part. Now that I'm done with the photos, just taking a look at them, we're going to be jumping into the editing phase. So I am going to pull up autohdr.com, which is of course the URL that we're going to be using. And yeah, one thing to note, I do shoot raw photos. Auto HDR actually, I'm not sure if they recommend, but they do say JPEGs are completely fine to upload. That'll work completely fine. Just to be on the safer side, I like to shoot raws in case, I have to go back or do anything like that, but I've never run into issues. Obviously, it's just going to be a little bit longer of an upload because these are about 70 megabytes of photo. So it is quite a bit, so it does take a little bit longer to upload. Yeah, this one's 65, but again, not really a big deal. So all we're going to do here is click Browse Files, and obviously I'm going to go to my demo shoot. And like I said, I'm not doing any culling here. I'm uploading all of the photos. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. And yeah. So now we're just going to name it. I'm just going to name it Demo Shoot for now. And we get some options here, which I'll just tell you what I like to do. Obviously, like if you're doing twilights or they have different like models. I like classic. I think that's the most clean. And then you have these settings right here. So I always do sky replacement. Sky replacements are really great. Perspective correction, of course, because we're using these wide lenses. I shoot 16 millimeters, so perspective correction is much needed. And then declutter and grass replacement, I don't automatically select these, but you absolutely can go in after the fact and add those back for specific photos. So that's personally what I do. Now we're just gonna click continue and it's gonna start uploading. So I have 192 files to upload. Yeah, so we'll catch you after they're done uploading and we'll go from there. So while they are uploading, I just do want to mention that the workflow is just so straightforward, right? I take all these photos, import them, and just upload them. And that's really it, right? So when I'm shooting multiple listings per week, multiple listings per day, I need something that's that simple, right? So you just plop it right in here and you're good to go. And just like that, we have our photos. So obviously for the demo, I did process them a couple days ago just because I had to get the shoot out. But I would have gotten these back in about, I believe the live time was about 30 minutes. So it was incredibly quick. And just by looking at these, obviously the thumbnails are a little bit smaller, but going in, I mean, these look great. They look super natural. That's one of my goals, is to never deliver a photo that looks fake, right? We're going for natural looking. And yeah, I mean, these look really, really solid. I'm just going through here. These window pulls are just about perfect. It really evens out the photo. I don't have really many complaints about this. But maybe besides the photos themselves, with some of the clutter, which we're gonna show you in a second here. But yeah, normally now I'll just go through and take a look through the photos. I mean, this bathroom photo just looks, great. It looks great. Window pull is perfect. Not too bright, but also not too dark. I see a lot of window pulls getting cold too, for some reason, but not on here. This looks pretty perfect, pretty real to life. And yeah, it got the perspective correction correct. It does the verticals and everything. So yeah, these are pretty much good to go. For now, I'm just gonna cull through and see some things that I need to fix up potentially. And yeah, one of the biggest things that I've found is just, being able to do other things while this is processing in 30 minutes, and then I come back and it's like, boom, I'm back. So I'll be working on video, or even at another shoot, you can upload on the go, right from your phone even. But it's just that quick turnaround time is incredible. So I'm going through here, I'm looking at the kitchen now, because kitchens are a big selling point. So yeah, I think these just look really good. It evened out the lighting so much. And one thing I really like is that in the bottom left here, you can click show inputs. So I'm just gonna press that and it'll show me. So it grabs the good exposure, the middle exposure, and then also the darkest and the lightest. So that's why you're gonna be seeing 3 source inputs, even though, I shoot 5 brackets. And so you can really see here, what the lights look like. So the lights were a little bit warmer. Obviously the inside's much darker than the outside, but those shadows are super, super heavy there on the middle exposure. So it cleaned that all up nicely, evened out those warm lights, and then did those perfect window pulls. So to me, this looks just about perfect. Just now jumping to the exteriors, these also look great. Like I said, when we were first uploading, it did that sky replacement, and you can clearly tell that it did that. I think this shoot was a pretty sunny day, but that sky was really bright, not many clouds, and you can even set settings up. So I have it set to wispy clouds, which obviously is what we're seeing here, and it nails it, right? It gets it even through these trees, these branches, these leaves. It really gets it, and it really brings up the brightness on the house as well. It's in the shade just because of what time we were shooting, and yeah. Like I said, this is a previous shoot, so I did want to mention one really cool feature here is that you could see that this car license plate, it's blurred, and that's because the client wanted it blurred. And all I did, that was completely inside of Auto HDR, right? So I went to basic adjustments here, and obviously you're able to tweak the photo if you would like. I find this photo to be pretty great. I don't think I need to tweak any of these settings, but there's going to be a little blur setting here. You could press that. It gives you a brush, size, strength, and you're able to do that. So small things like that, that's what saves me so much time, right? Without having to go into other tools like Lightroom, Photoshop, And that's what's going to save your time, and that's what's going to increase your efficiency and just speed up your workflow. So that was a great blur, and we're just going to take a look at some of the other exteriors here, make sure they all look good. Obviously doing the perspective correction. So I want to jump back to this one photo of the walk-in closet in the master bedroom because of what's going on, right? So we have a lot of, like I said, the people, there's still tenants living in this property, and therefore their stuff is going to be in the closet. And typically I wouldn't shoot it or I'd deliver it like this, but Auto HDR has that declutter feature, and it's pretty incredible, right? I've been using it a ton for listings like this. And all you're gonna do is press declutter now, and it says it's gonna use 1 credit, and you just confirm and process it. And yeah, I again already did this, so I'll show you what that looks like now. But the declutter takes about a minute or two. It's super quick, and there is the end result for the declutter. It is pretty incredible. I mean, we could just look at the before and after here just by clicking through on the arrows, and wow, right? Just wow. We're completely getting rid of everything, just about everything in the room, besides, of course, you know, like the storage bins and the actual furniture itself and the structure itself, which is what we want, right? We want to show that. But all of this clothing, all of these smaller storage bins, personal items are completely getting removed, and it's just incredible. It's incredible to use for properties like this. And I think there's even one more example I might have used for this property. Yeah, so here's one more example of what I used declutter for. So I do really like this space. I really like the desk and the chair, but you know, it's a personal space. So there's a lot of cables going on. You have stuff on the walls, you know, picture frames, whatever else, monitors. And again, declutter tool took me 1 minute. And this is one click, literally 1 click. And you could take a look, it removed all of that. It's pretty incredible. So you know, even just by quality controlling the photo, you can take a look that it completely cleared off the desk of everything on the desk. It cleared out the cables under the desk, and then even this chair is mesh, right? So you could kind of tell there's a little bit going on behind the chair. It even cleaned that up. So this is clearly a really good model, and the declutter tool just saves so much time here for us. So I think I'm good with the photos. I'm really happy with that output, and I think my client is going to be as well. And it just goes so much beyond the editing, right? It's the business side of things that you're delivering faster, you're impressing these clients, right? You're just saving more time, which you could be using for other things. It's probably saving me hours each week, if I had to guess. So it's just really an incredible tool. I've even genuinely had clients reach out, impressed with that deliver time, impressed with the turnaround time, and how good the photos looked. For being, honestly, sometimes I'm delivering same day if I'm able to. Overall, it's just a game changer. And that's typically it. I mean, right before delivery, I typically go into Lightroom Classic. I do download the photos, go into Lightroom Classic just to organize them and rename them. But otherwise, I'm going straight to delivery and sending that link over to my clients. So some final thoughts. Is Auto HDR the best AI photo editor for real estate photography? Well, for me, it is. I just find that it's one of the best options out there currently, and it solves the problems that actually matter to me and my business. I found that it's increasing my speed, increasing my consistency, it's giving me better results, happier clients, and I'm spending less time behind a screen, which helps me run my business more efficiently. So if you're a real estate photographer or just a media company, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's, you know, at least worth a shot. And if you have anything that helps increase your efficiency, please drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions on it. I appreciate the time. Thanks for watching.